So exactly why is the DEWALT 13-inch cutting swath 20-volt cordless string trimmer Weed Wacker so popular? It is one of the best selling in the nation currently. Why is that? In this video we're going to cover the unboxing, setup and usage, key features, my take on it, as well as frequently asked questions at the end. So stick around to the end. I'm Eddie Field with Field Guide to DIY. Let's dive in. So this is the 13-inch cutting swath 20 volt from DEWALT. Then we're going to attach the guard with the hardware included. It does not include the Phillips screwdriver. You'd be tempted to use a screw gun on this or a drill driver, but they warn you not to because you'll strip it out because it's only going into plastic. Next, again with the Allen wrench they provide, remove the 4 bolts to attach the balancing handle on there. Then with DEWALT facing away from the trimmer head, put it in position. You can adjust it to your height. Just snug it up. Don't strip it because it's only going into plastic. Okay, now it's ready to go. Now we get our battery, 20 volt, off of our other tool. So once it's all assembled, you have this safety trigger as well as the power. It's lightweight. This is an aluminum shaft. It weighs about 7 pounds. It's got a 13-inch cutting swath, like I said. It's got a gear drive transmission for power, and it does have a bump feed. So you'll gently bump it on a cushioned area, like your grass. Don't bump it on the asphalt or your concrete. Like I said, it is lightweight and it's ergonomic. It's a comfortable rubberized grip handle. It's compatible with the 20 volt batteries that are in your other DEWALT products. It has a smooth bump feed operation. And it trims it to length. Like I said, it is variable speed from 5,300 to 6,300 RPM. So for the ease of use, it may be a little tricky with the safety feature on the backside to fire that up. Now, being that it is only 20 volt, this is one of the smaller batteries that I have, and so I'm not really expecting it to go all the way around the house before I swap out for another battery. Now, the design of the strap that holds the two pieces together, that concerns me a little bit, but we'll see over time. Also, this doesn't feel like the most stout aluminum, so I don't know if it'll bend if I get caught underneath the tire or something. But what I do like is the fact that the motor is in the trimmer head, because quite frankly, I've had issues with other string trimmers that have the shaft, the drive shaft that goes down through the shaft of the trimmer. And over time, that connection has worn out or just become disconnected. That becomes an issue. But with this, it gets power through the trigger, sends it to the signal to the transmission and the motor here. And it also has your traditional DEWALT warranty, 3-year limited warranty, a 1-year service warranty, as well as your traditional 90-day replacement. So for the ease of use, I'd give it 4 saw blades. For the performance, we're going to try it out like I said, but I think it's going to hold up. I'm going to give it, based on the 20 volt that it is, compared to my other 56 volt, I'm going to give this 3.5 saw blades for performance. For value, being that this is a DEWALT product, it's relatively easy to set up, relatively easy to use, 13-inch cutting swath, I'm going to give it 4.5 saw blades for value. And for the features and convenience, I'm also going to give it 4 saw blades. And for durability, where the motor is and where the battery is, I think that's pretty stout, but with the aluminum handle, I think I'm going to give it 3.5 blades. Here are some frequently asked questions about the 13-inch cutting swath 20-volt DEWALT string trimmer Weed Wacker. First of all, what is the amp hour rating for this string trimmer? Well, I'm using the 2 amp hour because that's the only battery that I had. It made it almost all the way around the house. Didn't quite finish the job. I had to swap out and finish the job with my second battery. And so I think I'm going to be investing in the largest 6 amp hour in order to get the whole job done. How much did it cost? Well, this unit cost me $129, which makes it one of the more affordable, recognizable brand names on the market today. I've also seen it online for $139 just last night. So $129, $139, you may find a better deal around Black Friday or holidays like Father's Day. How does it compare to gas string trimmers? Well, I found the power to be very comparable to a gas string trimmer. The only difference is, of course, that when you're out of gas, you just refill it. But when you're out of charge, you have to plug it back and wait for it to recharge unless you're swapping out batteries and cycling them. Unless you're cycling out batteries. Another commonly asked question is, how loud is it? Using a handy dandy decibel meter that I use to running sound at church. Not too bad, only 84 decibels. How to replace the string? Well, first of all, you always remove the power source. Now, first off, you're gonna see a lock indicator there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push and twist clockwise. Push, twist, and release. Take the bobbin off, and then we can rewind our line back on the spool. It's just that easy. Actually, it's not that easy. The easier is that DEWALT came out with a simpler system that you can just thread it through. This is not that way on this model. Can the DEWALT string trimmer be used with other products? Unfortunately, this head is proprietary for DEWALT. You can get some aftermarket knockoff, both of the head and the battery, but it's not going to be true to DEWALT. You can't just go out and get a Ryobi battery and slap it on there, or Ryobi head. It's just not going to work that way. How long does it take to get a full charge? Well, for my 2 amp hour, it took about between 6 and 8 hours. Like I said, I'm going to be investing in a 6 amp hour, but I've heard the same ratings, between 6 and 8 hours for a full charge, either on the 2 amp hour, 4 amp hour, or 6 amp hour. So you may want to invest in a couple batteries and cycle them out. Put one on the charger while you're using the other one. I hope this helps answer the question why the DEWALT is one of the best-selling string trimmers in the market. To see all the ins and outs of another best-selling product, click the image on your screen now. I'll see you in the next video.